Prakash, Program Director for Jalsa Fiji Radio. और जैसे हमने शुरू में मेंशन किया है, Shahil is going to help us with paneling today. और हम धन्यवाद देना चाहेंगे विवेक को जो is going to help us with videography today. जो लोग हमें Facebook में ज्वाइन हो रहे हैं उसको भी हम स्वागत करना चाहेंगे अपने इस प्रोग्राम में. और जो लोग अभी अगर हमारे साथ में ज्वाइन हो रहे हैं, then आपको बता दें कि we have got Ngan who is going to be our guest for today for this episode. And from now I will be switching to English so that we can communicate with Ngan. And it's very fascinating, quite interesting. We are pretty excited because today we are going to talk about Vietnam, and it is a new kind of a topic for us. We have never talked about that in our interviews, so it's pretty exciting. So we would like to welcome Ngan to the program. Thank you so much, Ngan, for coming today make yourself available for the interview. So we will just start off with a simple question. What have you been up to today?
What have I been up to today? We've started off with my two boys. They play soccer in the mornings for Nomads, and that was a pretty chilly start. No one turned the heater on. It was freezing out there. My youngest one, he's passionate about soccer, whereas my oldest, he plays because he kind of has parents in the background that push him along a little bit, and hubby is coaching his team. And then we've just been laying low this afternoon, and here I am.
I see. And then talking about soccer, we have soccer, the World Cup FIFA that's happening as well. So
Yes.
that's pretty exciting as well.
Yes.
And yeah, that's true. It's quite strange. Like when we came to New Zealand, like we are from Fiji, and when we came over here, and then we realized actually soccer is a winter sport. So, so it doesn't really make that much sense to us, but it is what it is. Because in the summertime, then people, I think, switch to cricket and rugby and other things, but soccer is meant to be played during winter, and sometimes it can become a bit frosty, but the games are not usually cancelled even you keep on playing. And yeah, feeling sorry for the boys, but I guess that's the way to harden up, because when you go to the higher level, especially if you are playing for your team in FIFA, then yes, you have to be quite tough. And talking about that, let's find out how tough all whites have been during this World Cup. Shahil is going to tell us about that.
That's a very, 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 I don't know how you want to take it. It's 5-1 Belgium.
I think I'll take it in a way that we did pretty well. Belgium is quite a high-ranked team.
Yeah, it's I think 10th ranked in the world, FIFA ranking there. But yeah, I mean, first game New Zealand started well, draw up,
Definitely.
and then they lost, and then they lost by a lot.
But and New Zealand has been unbeaten for quite some time, so this year things have changed.
Technically, this is only the second World Cup they've played. So first World Cup, South Africa, they were unbeaten, but they didn't win a game.
They didn't win, yeah.
This World Cup, they had draw and then lost.
They lost two games
again, with a bigger margin. So Egypt and Belgium are through, and
is it Iran?
Iran, I don't think they have enough points to go through. It's I think only 8 teams with best 10 place they will go through.
So most likely Iran and New Zealand is definitely saying goodbye.
Yeah,
and then we have
Iran has also said goodbye as well. I think they're on 2 or 3 points.
So
they don't have enough to go through.
So from that particular pool, so we can safely say Egypt and Belgium are through.
Yep. And then there are a lot of other teams who are through, and then there are other teams who are doing really well, like low teams. You don't expect them to do well.
Exactly. This is more like hitting above the belt,
yes.
Because many teams are doing wonders and beating teams like Germany. So that's the World Cup we are having this time, which is very similar when we look at Sevens rugby or even Super Rugby. Things do happen, and sometimes you have these shocks as well, which I think is interesting and quite nice for us as audience.
Yeah, good to see different teams winning each time, and it makes the competition interesting. If same team keeps on winning, there's nothing new.
Yeah, exactly. Now, Nan, what about you? Are you following FIFA?
I can't say I'm following it as passionately as the boys in my household. Every morning before school, TV's on watching football. Normally that's a no-go, TV in the morning before school. Yeah, the boys love it. So I'm kind of in the background, just taking it all in. Yeah.
That's quite nice. And then going on the soccer grounds as a supporting mom.
Yes.
So you should be quite versed with soccer now. You'd be knowing all the rules. But I mean, you are. Though we are going to talk about Vietnam, and my guess is it's your parents who are originally from Vietnam.
Yes. So mum's Vietnamese. She's born in Vietnam. My dad's Chinese, but he grew up in Vietnam. That's where they met. Mum and dad had my 2 older brothers in Vietnam, and they actually fled the war in the 70s. Part of the boat people that people were quite familiar with, refugees. So they did that harrowing journey from Vietnam for about 3 months and ended up in Australia.
Okay.
Thought they were going to settle in Australia. Then there was talk of a country called New Zealand, who majority of the boat were like, what is New Zealand? There's another place out there. And so they continued on that journey on that boat and ended up in Ashburton.
Yep.
And that was where I was born with my younger brother.
So they kind of liked Ashburton and settled in.
Yes, the reason why Ashburton was the place they settled was because, I don't know if they still do it now, but for refugee families to settle, they need a sponsor family. And there was a family in Ashburton that were willing to sponsor my parents and my brothers to settle them in Ashburton, and that's...
So how many brothers or how many other siblings you have?
I have 3 siblings. My eldest brother has passed away, so I have 2 remaining siblings, and myself. Yeah.
I see. So looking at culture, just because you're kind of born
Yes.
kind of Kiwi,
Yes.
but then you have this Vietnamese in the background.
Yes.
So what about culture? Like how do you keep up? Like are you more like a Kiwi person, or you still strongly hold on to the Vietnamese values?
When I was growing up at school, I would like to say that I held on to the Kiwi side quite strongly. I don't know if that was society or myself, I'm not sure why, but I kind of regret it a little bit because the older that I've gotten and the more accepting we've become, I have really taken on to the Vietnamese side, especially with my 2 boys. I really want them to keep that culture going in my family. My husband's Kiwi, so we kind of lose half of that already because the other half isn't the same culture. I mean, for instance, my language, I can speak Vietnamese fluently.
Yes.
When I was growing up at home, that's how I learnt Vietnamese, was listening to mum and dad speak. They didn't speak English. It wasn't until us kids went to preschool, school, that's where we learnt English. And so that's the side that I know that my boys are missing out on because hubby and I, we don't have that conversation in Vietnamese. But leaning in on mum and my brothers when we're around, I'm very aware of keeping that language going in front of my boys. They can understand what we're talking about, not necessarily convey what they are trying to say. And then that's when broken English comes through.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yep. So when you get upset with your hubby or something, which language do you start speaking?
English.
Do you switch to Vietnamese or you stick on English?
English when it's me. But when my boys are around, sometimes a little bit of Vietnamese comes out. And so you'd be safe to say that my boys probably know.
When you are upset.
They know where they stand when I'm speaking in Vietnamese.
Yeah, exactly. It's quite usual. I think it happens to many families. Yeah, we switch to English. And the other thing, I think when we start drinking or something and suddenly we start speaking in English. And then the next day we say, why were we speaking English? So the language changes. And it's beautiful. I think that's the beauty of language.
Yes.
And especially when someone can speak other languages.
Yes.
And I agree with you. It is sometimes something we don't appreciate that much. But later in life, then we do. But
Yes.
it may be a bit difficult. We have lost a bit by then.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, so no, that's quite interesting. And going back to Vietnam, so when was the last time you visited Vietnam?
Oh, would have been about 15 years ago. Maybe 11 years ago. It was not for happy times. It was for my brother's cremation, essentially. So that was the last time we were there. And my eldest and myself were there for some time. In Vietnamese culture, when someone passes, it's a lot different to what
Kiwis
the Kiwis do it. It's complete polar opposite. Over there, you're pretty much forced into spending 50 days, 100 days mourning this person that's passed away. And that gives you the opportunity to grieve properly.
Yeah.
You're with your family,
Yeah.
you're doing all these traditions that are meant to happen when someone passes, to ensure that that spirit is transitioned in the best way possible. So that was the last time we were in Vietnam, and I was saying earlier how it's changed a lot. I mean, so much. Social media, the first time my husband and I visited Vietnam together, it was very much still a war-torn country. I mean, you'd be riding down the road and there'd be half-blown-up buildings there still. They would still talk about mines being in the ground, where you can play and where you can't play. That was very real. And in that, Vietnam was held back a lot. Because we'd been to Singapore, we'd been to Hong Kong, and we'd seen the bright lights and the tall buildings and the motorways, and everything was just so much more advanced in Vietnam. But now, on social media,
it's getting advanced.
It's there.
But I think the farmers, they're still finding bombs and other stuff in the field.
Yes.
They still do.
Very much so. My auntie, she would have been, I think she might have been 10 or 11, and they were playing football again in a dirt paddock, just kicking the ball around, and she managed to kick through a little wee mine, and her half of her shin was gone.
Oh gosh.
Yes. But I mean, pretty cool story. She lived to tell it.
Yeah.
But when people were like, wow, what happened to your leg?
Yes.
No, I kicked a mine. It's like, that was just the reality when they were growing up in that kind of environment.
Yes. And there could have been some booby traps as well left by during that time.
They're still going to jungle and mountains and stuff.
Yes.
You'll still find it.
Yeah. And if you've visited the Coochie tunnels...
I've been inside them as well.
Yes. Definitely.
Because you realize, like, the whole tunnel is probably less than this table side.
Yes.
And you have to actually squeeze through.
Yes.
Actually, when I was wondering what we're going to talk about Vietnam, so I tried to Google or try to find something, but every time I did something, it just kept on talking about wars. The wars that was fought in Vietnam. So I was thinking maybe
because
we will end up talking about that.
Because the war in Vietnam was one of the big ones.
Yes. And difficult ones.
Yeah.
One of the difficult ones where the opposing defense force or army, they actually felt it. It was so difficult for them as well. They couldn't just come, wipe it up and win.
No.
It was pretty much North Vietnam versus South Vietnam, and other countries were sort of involved. And the worst part is they still feel it and still get it is effects of I think Agent Orange.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So Americans they sprayed a chemical over Vietnam, and you'll still, like, when kids are born, they still carry that in their genes, and they are, I don't know how do you say it, they are still
handicapped.
Yeah, the disabilities and
disabilities are there.
deformities and
So when you go around Vietnam, you'll definitely know, like, they're still coming out of the war or effects of the war.
I see. That's quite sad because it's something that it's hard to get over it, because obviously as time goes, phases after phases, then you try to get going. And leave the past behind. But if the situation is like that, like if mines are still there, and from time to time you find some bomb or something that may still be active.
Yes.
So I think it's a hard to get over it. I guess it is just there, and it might continue, and we'll see what happens. Just quickly changing the topic. What about geography? Because I heard that it's quite different from south versus north. They have different kind of climate.
Yes. I've never been right up to the top. But up the top in Hanoi, snow, freezing cold.
It's
I
like
guess you can call it
four
Christ-
seasons.
Yes.
Yeah.
So let's put it this way: it's New Zealand upside down.
Yes.
So
Yes, that's a brilliant way of it.
It's New Zealand upside down.
Yeah.
So you know how we go further north in New Zealand, it's
in
more warmer.
warm,
And, you further south you go, it's colder.
Yes.
You turn New Zealand upside down,
Okay.
and that's there.
That's exactly what that is. Yeah.
I see. Because I thought I would be saying more like New Zealand on top and Fiji at the bottom, because I think 4 seasons are on top, but only 2 seasons at the bottom, just like Fiji.
No, I think they have it because I think bottom of Vietnam is close to the equator, and north is sort of a bit more closer to the, I think, the mountains. And stuff. So you get that winter up there, like
But
white winter.
not in the south.
South is sort of
warmer.
Yeah.
and it's closer
Very
to
humid,
the
yes.
ocean.
Yeah.
And I think south in that case would be more like coastline.
The whole of Vietnam is coastal.
Oh, coastline. Oh, okay, because it ends that way.
Yeah, so it's like on the side of
at
the
edge.
edge.
Yep. And I think it has quite a decent coastline.
Yes. it's beautiful coastline.
So there should be lots of fish markets out there.
Yes. Oh my gosh, the markets, the food. Oh, yeah.
They have floating village there as well. So in I think Mekong River.
Yes.
In there, so people are actually living in boats. So the house is actually made of boat and it's floating.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
It's amazing, and it's actual stilts. No amazing engineering or anything. It's literally just like these solid bits of wood.
Because I was watching a documentary. I'm not sure whether it was Vietnam. It could have been, but I saw that the children, they would just dive into the river anytime they feel like.
Yes.
So like us, like when we're in Fiji, we just go outside and play most of the time. So my mom would say, "Go outside and play."
Yes.
So over there, it was more like go in the river.
Go in the river. Yeah, go in the river. Kick. Yeah, it's more. Not so privileged playing. So it's more go make the most of what you can find out there.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But I think they must be adapted because from the day they're born, that's what they
know.
see. Yeah,
that's all they know. When it rains over there, I'm not sure what it's like in Fiji, but the monsoon rain.
Yes.
They talk about the monsoon rain when it rains. Seeing the kids out there in the rain. Playing, bathing, having fun, just innocent stuff like that.
It's probably same in Fiji.
Similar, just because we are warmer. So when we have rain, we have a rain bath.
Yes.
Yeah. So we can go and have that rain bath, and most like our culture, as we watch Bollywood movies, so we see a lot of rain bath where actors it's a dance. So when we're kids, then we will kind of do what we do in the rain. But obviously we can't do the same thing in New Zealand.
No, it's freezing here when it rains.
It's totally opposite. Over there we enjoyed, and for some reason the rain in when I was in primary school, so the rain will wait until it's like school time. So it's 3 p.m. That's when it starts raining.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's the time when we are going home.
Yes.
So we'll have the rain bath while going home, and we'll enjoy the whole way. We'll play.
Yeah.
In the water.
The best part about that was no homework. We had to leave our books in school. Otherwise we get wet.
That's
so
brilliant.
just take yourself.
Yeah.
And we didn't have any kind of umbrella or anything.
No.
We loved getting wet.
Yeah, because it's not cold, right?
Yeah. Exactly. And if we get a chance, we'll just buy an ice block or something, and then we have that combination.
Yes.
So those were the school days, but obviously you were born in Ashburton, so you will have a different story to tell.
Yeah.
But back in Vietnam, the kids will have a different story.
Yes.
But how about schooling? How does, at what level or how do you regard education back in Vietnam? Would you have any idea?
It's getting stronger.
Yep.
They hold English very high regards.
Yep.
I mean, when we were there, the cousins, they'd all want just to sit and just practice their English with us. Their schooling over there, they take it very seriously. The kids would wake up at 7:30, get to school for 8, finish at 4, come home, have a little bit of a rest, have a meal, and if your family was well off enough to enable this, you would go back to school for a couple more hours after dinner.
I see.
And if you could do that, people would be like, wow, your family is on the right path, education's key over there. They see education as upper class, and if you have to work, that's not really where you want to be. So education over there, they're very, I wouldn't say militant, they're strict.
Many countries, not even back in Fiji, education was taken quite seriously, so we would be kind of, our parents will keep an eye that we are studying.
Yes.
And I mean, we were lucky in our days we didn't have social media or access, so all we had was like one family TV.
Yeah.
So it was easy to control, but they just had to realize that our eyes would be open, but they had to realize that we were actually studying, not just like looking at the book. So,
but inside that, I think we were lucky because we only had one channel, and there was hardly anything good on it.
Was it just news?
Mostly news, and there were a few other programs.
Oh yeah.
And it was more of it wasn't like for kids.
Yes.
So even if you were watching it,
Yeah.
you wouldn't like understand or get it.
Yeah.
And most of the programs, they were even not worth watching at that time.
No.
No.
I think Shahil is...
TV actually came in Fiji.
Exactly, that was what I was going to say. That Shahil is talking about TV when it was introduced. And he's more like talking about his days.
Yes.
But going even back, we didn't have TV to start with.
No.
So we only had radio. But the other thing then was we would want to read like comics, as you call it. And even comics were not very much appreciated in my time.
No.
So it wasn't same as education.
Yeah.
But I would love to read storybooks or something, and then you had to go to library. So it was kind of, I think that applies to that generation at that time. So going to Vietnam, are they like advanced perhaps as we are, like technology? Because I know if we have a lot of Indian friends, so we keep on talking to them from time to time. We see kind of movies.
Yeah.
So what we know is, like India is flooded with phones.
Yes.
They actually manufacture phones, so everybody would have phones. It doesn't matter at what level you are, but you are definitely going to have. And same thing in Fiji. The mobile phones are everywhere.
Yes.
Every household would have a phone regardless of where they stand in the community.
Yeah.
What about Vietnam? Is it same?
I'd say it's probably more advanced than New Zealand, just because of,
Of course,
I'm just going to say they're Asian. I mean, we're always going to be a step ahead. There will be that minority that are still very poor, that don't have that privilege or those luxuries. But from what I can see,
majority have.
streaks ahead.
It's floating everywhere.
Yes,
social
absolutely.
media
I think it's like every country where you
Yeah.
have high and then you have low
Yeah.
as well. So
Yeah. I mean, you're talking about the people living out over the water. There will still be people living out over that
I
water.
think I heard a story or I read somewhere or was watching a documentary, and there are people who actually haven't been off the water because shops are on the water, school is on the water,
Yeah.
everything is in the water.
Yeah.
They haven't actually stepped foot on the land.
No.
And I saw a movie that was more like a futuristic, like movie predicting the future, what would be. So I think maybe the movie's name was Water, maybe. So what would happen if the water will start rising and and in the ground or the earth kind of will be kind of covered with water.
Yeah.
So I think those people would be quite lucky at that time because they know exactly how to live, whereas
That's
we'll be
right.
struggling.
That's right. Just put the stilts up, Maya.
Yeah.
Go
And
second level.
when we talk about Vietnam, I'm guessing it's much larger than New Zealand.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And lots of people.
Yes, lots of motorbikes.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, everyone's on a Honda or a Nova. Like, when we were first there, we were like, we want to be able to afford a scooter like that, to have your mum, your dad, your siblings, the chickens, the pig, like that is real in Vietnam.
So you show off your pigs.
Yeah, the whole family's on there. They can carry so much on a two-wheeler.
Yeah.
And so many people. There's no traffic rules. No lights. It's whoever's horns the loudest gets the right of way.
And
It's absolutely
if you're crossing
mental.
the road, you just cross. And
You just
they'll go side by side.
Yes,
They won't stop.
they won't stop.
Even at crossing as well.
Yeah.
I see. So if you go to Vietnam, then you have to make sure that you are fully insured.
Yes, make sure your Crocs are in sports mode so you don't lose that halfway across the road because they're not stopping for you.
Wow, that's quite fascinating. And I'm guessing we are talking about cities, like the busy and bustling cities, but at the same time, I'm guessing as you go interior,
Yes,
it should be kind of quiet villages.
it does calm down. Even in Ho Chi Minh,
Yep.
in the city, it's just mental. But
Yeah,
as you go out further, the further you go out with the districts, then you start, following little paths instead of roads. They become little paths in between a neighbour's front door and the opposite neighbour's front door that might be 3 metres away from each other, and you're navigating the motorbikes through these little paths to get to wherever you need to, and that's pretty amazing in itself.
Yeah, the good thing about that is you'll get to see like the original Vietnam.
Yes.
Yeah, the real
Vietnam.
stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then
Yes,
I'm guessing
cities
when
sort of
you
develop.
go over there, they are going to find their own food, like from the nature. Are they still doing that? Or is it they still have dairy shops over there?
There's probably a lot more convenience now. There has to be. I mean, that's just the way the world's going. Their food is just so much fresher. They grow it. When you go out towards the farms, I mean, the rice paddy fields, it's so much
the
greener.
rice is in it, like the rice is number one over there, I guess.
Yeah. And their food is just fresh. It's not so heavy. It's good food. Yeah, I miss the food.
And what about sports? Like what do Vietnamese good at in any particular sports?
What would they have been good at?
They're good at soccer.
Yeah.
They play soccer.
Yeah.
I don't think they play rugby there.
No. No, I haven't seen any rugby there.
No, or cricket. I think it's mainly indoor sports and I think athletics and soccer.
I see. Yeah, that's quite interesting. So when are you going back?
I'd like to say tomorrow, but no, not anytime soon. I'd like to take the entire family back. Mum, she's still got siblings over there. We've talked about just flying in up north and then getting on your Hondas. I don't know if you guys watched that Top Gear episode where they went from the top and they just rode all the way down. That would be our dream, is for my family, my mum and my brothers, to go and do that. As our youngest one gets older, that'll be a lot easier. And then eventually get down. So hopefully maybe in the next 5 years or so. Yeah, it'd be nice.
And what about the Vietnamese community over here? Are you kind of part of the community, or do you?
Not really.
bump
I
into
haven't gone out seeking for it. I have stumbled into a couple of Vietnamese families who the community is quite strong. Mum in Ashburton has a couple of families that came through on the boats with her that she still keeps in touch with. But here, fish and chip shops. I mean, we've gone to our local and I've sat there waiting for our order, and I'm overhearing the people in the back. They're talking Vietnamese. I'm like, oh, yeah, this is probably about right. And so, you know.
Do you want us to make an ad about you looking for...
I've been invited to a lot of Vietnamese communities, and it's quite funny because it's a running joke at home. I shy away from things like that. I don't know why, but my husband's always like, you need to embrace it because, you know, they're there and they're happy to have you there and they love it when you walk in. And, you know, when my husband walks in to get the fish and chips and he throws out the gam ong, which is thank you in Vietnamese, they just love it. They just think, oh my gosh, you know, we've got someone else in the community that's our culture and we want this to be bigger. And so there's definitely a community out there.
So there's a decent number.
Yes. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if you've noticed, but the Vietnamese restaurants, they're just getting bigger and bigger.
Yeah.
Banh mi's, I think they're just taking over Christchurch at the moment. Pho, I just see it more and more everywhere I go. When we were growing up, there was just Chinese fish and chips. And that was probably the extent of it. But now, you know, there's just such a variety out there, and it's good to see that the Vietnamese
definitely,
is strong.
We are actually noticing that as well, Vietnamese, and then of course we have like Thai, and then Chinese has always been there, but for us it has always been like Chinese.
Yes.
But now we are realizing, we are actually definitely we can't miss it.
Yes.
It's out there. That we are having those other restaurants, and of course we have got this flood of Indian restaurants as well. But it's quite nice to have that kind of community, and of course Christchurch is growing. And when I say Christchurch, I think I would be saying Canterbury, because it's all growing, and I'm sure we won't leave Ashburton behind. I'm sure people are going to Ashburton as well. Though I think it's just like something about Christchurch.
Yeah.
That once you're here, you just are here.
Yeah.
You don't want to live, though it gets a bit cold.
It does. Yeah. It does. Well, I mean, I was in Ashburton until I finished high school, and as soon as I could, I was out of there. I was here. Majority of my friends were already here. Christchurch was where we needed to be. When you finish school, you moved to Christchurch because it was uni, Polytech. You go flatting, you do all the good stuff here. I mean, going down south was never on our radars.
I don't think Ashburton has a casino. Do they have a casino?
I have no idea, but probably in the last 10 years they have actually developed quite a lot. Before it wasn't that much. So only two developed places in South Island was either Dunedin or Christchurch.
Because I had no idea. I didn't even realize that a casino was only kind of here in certain places, not everywhere. I just assumed that you'll find casino in every kind of city.
Oh, okay.
They have it in like pubs and stuff.
Pubs and stuff, not a formal,
not an actual casino.
Official kind of casino, which is. I thought that was the culture. Anyway,
even in Blagil has developed quite a lot. Big time.
It is, and in some of course cities have overdeveloped, like Queenstown. So I think they should think about stopping, because I think they're running out of space.
I think they need to think about now their infrastructure.
Yeah, exactly.
Because big time they don't have like traffic jams up big time. So there's the story about New Zealand, but when we compare that with Vietnam, then they would laugh at us. We are talking about
first world problems, right?
I was just about to say that.
What have we got to complain about?
Exactly.
Like last time we were saying that when we got back, it was like empty city here, like
exactly.
place.
Yeah.
The same thing if you come back from Vietnam.
Yeah.
For them it's empty. It's kind of, and over here I'm just complaining. Oh, the light hasn't turned, so I'm kind of 2 minutes late compared to yesterday.
Yeah.
So and when I look at the traffic, I think that there's a little bit more cars, so I'm, it's going to slow me by 2 minutes or 3 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean people in Auckland, I think they are more kind of experienced in this way, so they are more used to the traffic.
Yeah.
But I mean, Christchurch is growing, which is good. I mean, as a whole, Canterbury is growing, and we are kind of spreading now,
Yeah.
which is excellent, and we are embracing more and more kind of cultures.
Yes.
And they are all coming over. And now, like when we talk about Vietnam, so it's your mum who is originally from Vietnam, and then your dad was from China.
Yes, I'm not sure what part of China Dad was from.
Yeah.
But yeah, he moved to Vietnam when he was 14.
Oh, okay.
Yes, he pretty much just left because he was over his family.
Mm-hmm.
Moved to Vietnam and then met Mum, and then Mum's family took him under his wing.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how they
Yep.
ended up together.
Mm.
And then us beautiful children came into the picture.
Mm.
Yeah.
So you're more like taken over the Vietnamese culture rather than kind of Chinese.
Yeah,
household?
definitely more Vietnamese. I mean, Dad, he did speak a little bit of Cantonese, and probably like my son, my boys, I know probably the not so good stuff in the Cantonese. So the discipline and the daily, we've got to do this and we've got to do that, and why are you saying this? That was all in Cantonese. But the Vietnamese is so much more stronger. Dad, growing up in Vietnam, I mean...
And in Vietnam, do you follow particular religion, or is it kind of religious, or is it like just like cultural traditional stuff?
Well, for my family, we're Buddhists.
Yep.
Yeah, so that's who we follow. And it's pretty strong. I do go back to that a lot when things in life, when we moved to New Zealand, when we were growing up, when Mum was here with Dad, they explored a lot of different faiths. So they explored Jehovah's, they explored, all the different ones that they could possibly do that in Ashburton just to learn a little bit more.
Yes.
But it always comes back to Buddhism.
Yep.
Yeah.
I see. And when we talk about our culture, like if we talk about us Indians, then the number one festival that will come to our mind, which kind of says it all. Like that's how we are kind of recognized as Diwali.
Yes.
So Diwali, that's when you'll get some goodies from Rajnita,
Yeah,
and then you'll have all the sweets and stuff, and then
Yeah.
you'll try to know their names, and of course they wear sari and stuff like. What in Vietnamese, do you have any of that kind of festivals?
It would be actually called the Chinese New Year.
Okay.
We call it Dut. In
Yep.
Vietnam, it's Dut,
Yep.
which is New Year. It's
Yep.
just been called Chinese New Year, though.
Yep.
And that's when the lemons and the red lucky envelopes come out, and fireworks, which I don't think they're allowed to have fireworks
So
anymore.
you also have red envelopes. I love red
Yes.
envelopes.
Yeah,
I would
same.
just want to receive those red envelopes.
We might be able to organise that for you. Yeah, the red envelopes.
Yeah.
And just that goodwill, and everyone's happy, and that's the time to start again. It's fresh, it's new, very similar to you guys. The new
So you
year.
invite people to your home.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah,
do you-
and
do you-
it goes for like a week.
Yeah.
It's like
Oh,
a massive
okay.
week-long
Definitely, because
celebration.
if you
Yeah.
invite someone at your home, then of course you have to go
Yeah.
back to that person's
Yeah.
home as well. But
Absolutely.
do you have like what we have over here? Like it's more like celebrated in a park or somewhere, or is it like just going home to home?
No, it's more home.
More home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's more
I
home.
think that's how Diwali is celebrated back in Fiji.
That's
Yeah.
what I was going to say. Same as Fiji or India.
Mhm.
Yeah.
You have your own prayer, and then of course you invite your family and your
Yes.
friends, and that is when you would expect your son to bring their children in. That's when you
Yes.
meet your
You should be
grandchildren.
surprised at how many people they don't know what Christmas is. They don't celebrate Christmas.
In Fiji?
Vietnam.
In Vietnam, yeah, no, they
No.
call it, yeah, no, not really.
No.
They do because it's commercialised.
Mm.
Yeah, it's more for Western tourists,
Yes.
but
Yes.
actual
They don't actually celebrate it.
they're only
No,
No,
okay.
it's
no
just another
public
day.
holiday, no nothing. It's just another day at work.
I see.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
That is a thing that Fiji is quite different in that sense, because in Fiji we kind of celebrate anything that we hear,
Yeah.
and as because of social media as well, as it's growing, actually they're picking on more festivals. So just give them a reason and they'll
Yeah.
celebrate. So
Yeah.
either it's Christmas or like Rihanna,
Yeah.
they celebrate Eid.
Yes.
So in Fiji we'll just celebrate that, we'll go to our Muslim friends.
We
Yeah.
just need a reason for holiday.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, absolutely. Why not?
Yeah.
Reason for holiday.
Yeah.
So it is definitely quite different. So Sahil, how much time do we have, or should we?
We have about another 10 minutes.
10 minutes?
Yeah.
Okay. So we still have 10 minutes, Ngan. So any other thing you want to share with us before we ask you more questions?
You can ask questions away.
Yeah. So going back to your family, of course, you have 2 boys.
2 boys, yeah.
Yes. And so they are kind of managing similar way Kiwi, or they are more like Kiwis than Vietnamese.
More Kiwi.
More Kiwi.
More Kiwis. In the boys' group of friends, we've only got one other child that's Vietnamese. But diverse cultures in my boys' lives, more so than what I had when I was growing up. Yeah, the boys are more Kiwi. I would love for them to be more Vietnamese, and I'm trying. I'm very well aware of it. But, you know, we can only do what we can do, because when they go to school, it's all English, isn't it?
And about yourself, when you were kind of growing up, where do you like, in our culture, like while we were growing, because I was the only kind of son, so brother, and I had like 3 sisters.
Yes.
My youngest sister was quite young, so it was more like my older sisters.
Yes.
So they were expected to learn the cooking, and of course they were the recipes were passed on, like grandmom to my mom, and then mom had this job of passing to her.
Yeah.
Is it similar in your culture?
Not really.
Yeah.
I was talking the other day to a friend about our cooking at home. Dad was the better cook than mum. And mum, when she cooks, she just tries to like fuse everything. So she'll make a lasagna, but it'll be spicy. So it's kind of like she's tried to do the Vietnamese Kiwi.
Oh, okay.
And, you know, everything that she tries to do that's Kiwi, it'll have like a Vietnamese
spice.
Yeah, at home, my husband will say, you know, have you gigs that up? That means my nickname's Gigs. He'll be asking, you know, is that like an authentic meal, or have you kind of put your spin on it?
Fusion.
Yeah. And so there's no recipes that she'll pass down. And mum cooking, she doesn't have a recipe book. She'll wing it.
Yeah.
So she'll make something and...
If it turns out good, it turns out good. If it's not, then...
Yeah. And if you ask her, oh, Mum, that was so good, how did you do that? She'll go, oh, it was just a little bit of this and a little bit of that. There's no measurements. There's no specific anything. She's just winging it. And if it turns out good, it turns out good. So that's how Mum cooks.
Yeah. It's quite funny how it happens, because it is kind of a generation to generation passing of recipes. Yeah. And some, they just learn on the way. When I was growing up, because I was the third, so I came a bit later into my kind of mom's life.
Yes.
And when I was watching her, she was still kind of learning. So, like in the village we live, so someone will tell her, "Oh, you make this one that way," and she'll learn how to bake cakes, things like that. Our baking was different; we didn't have oven, so you go the traditional way. Yeah. So she'll learn how to do that or do certain things. And then, of course, we had radio. So there was a segment where recipes are kind of given out. Yeah. And then she'll write in her language, like Hindi. She'll write in Hindi.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. She didn't know how to write in English, but she knew how to write and read Hindi, so she will write in our language. And she'll kind of do that. And when our time came, I don't think it really passed to me, but I did learn a few things from her, and she loved, like when I said to Mom that I want to cook this, and she was overjoyed, so she gladly showed me how, and then of course you learn as you go.
You do.
And then we got married, and Rajnita too, she really learned as we went along.
Yeah,
so it's quite different, but in some families it's kind of more like passing over. But today we must stick to Vietnam, so we have to go back and talk more about Vietnam.
Sure.
So with Vietnamese food, so what would be their food? I know rice is there, so
it's more like noodle soup.
Yep.
We call it...
Is it more like seafood?
Yes and no. It's more about the broth. It's more about the salt and pepper. It's more about time. So when you have a noodle soup, that soup has probably been brewing for about 18 hours. And, you know, they'll be peeling out that soup and you'll be eating it, and you'll get to the bottom of the pot. They won't get rid of it. They'll add some more ingredients into it and get that pot to the top again and keep it going. So it's more about quality of cooking Whereas here,
I think it's method of cooking, isn't it? The way they cook.
yeah, it's just a bit more wholesome.
That's why I found, like, with the Asian countries, you go from country to country,
Yeah,
food is similar. It's the method of cooking. I
Yes.
think that's the different.
yeah,
Mm.
yeah.
I think I guess so. I think Fiji too, when we used to have like open fire cooking, it was very different. The charcoal, the smell,
Yes.
the texture, and everything was different. And
Yes.
of course, we had like raw from the farm.
Yeah.
It was all fresh. Just go to the market over here. By the time we have our ingredients, it comes from somewhere,
Yeah.
frozen, and
Yeah.
it takes about 18 hours. But over here, it might take a few months for the ingredient to reach.
Yes.
Yeah, so it's quite different. And what I wanted to ask is, I forgot to remember what I was
come
just
back to
talking
you.
about.
One
I'll
thing
have to come
say
back to you.
is, if you want to become a millionaire,
Oh.
come to Vietnam.
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh, why?
I was a millionaire for a week.
Ah, yes,
So
yes.
at any given time, you'll have like $1 billion plus in your
Yes,
pocket.
this is brilliant. I
You know
remember
that
this.
my
Yes.
one of my neighbors, he was a plumber over here,
Yeah.
but his main job was something different. He told me. So he went to Vietnam. See, he sold his house over here, and he went to Vietnam. I said, "Why Vietnam?" He said, "Over there, 1 year I'm not going to work. I'm just going to travel,
Yes.
relax, and learn their culture." Oh, his main profession was teaching.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, he was a teacher, but then he switched to plumbing.
Yeah.
And because over here, he kind of, with plumbing, he got more money out of it, and he knew how to plumb, so
Yeah.
he just got a certificate and did that. But then when the time came, he sold his home over here, and then he went to Vietnam.
Wow.
And he said he's going to do nothing for 1 year.
Yeah.
He's just going to relax, eat,
Yeah.
learn the culture,
Yeah.
and do whatever he wanted to do, travel,
Yeah.
and know about all about Vietnam.
Mhm.
And then he'll start working as a teacher,
Mhm.
and then he'll work for a number of years, and then he might come back or go somewhere.
That's a
So
brilliant
Vietnam
thing.
was one of those
Yeah.
places he chose to go to.
Yeah.
So he would have his own kind of reasons for doing that.
Yeah, that's brilliant.
And what about costume? What do you wear in Vietnam if you are going to a wedding?
In Vietnam, a female would wear something called an áo dài.
Yeah.
I'll try and describe it. It's kind of like a shirt, a
I
fitting
should have
shirt.
asked this. I should have told this question before, so that you could have come dressed in that.
I don't
That's
actually
good.
have one.
Okay,
I don't actually have one.
that's another thing you can add to your list.
Yeah, okay then. Yep,
Yep.
we can do that. So an áo dài is like a long shirt. It's quite fitted and structured, and it has two splits probably from your hips that go all the way down, and it reaches right to the ground, and then there's just a pair of pants underneath, and then the straw hat.
Yep. Oh,
Which you
got
would have
that as
seen.
well. Wow.
Yep, and those áo dài are for the females, and for the males they can wear that as well, but their shirt will just be a little bit shorter. And then, like in your culture, you can
Yep.
make that so sparkly. You can
Yeah,
add whatever you
bright
need to
and-
it. The
yeah.
fabrics, the materials that you can get.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what you would wear to a wedding. More so these days, their weddings they strive for a more
Western.
European look.
Oh, yes.
So they want the white
Yep.
dresses
Yep.
and all of that kind of stuff, which
Mm.
is a little bit.
Yep.
I get it.
Yep.
But
It is kind of sad in a way that we
Yeah.
are drifting.
It's
Yep.
more to do with, I think, social media
Yeah,
nowadays.
yeah, yeah.
I reckon
Some
too.
people actually watch social media
Yeah.
and I want that.
I
That's
think
the
what
wedding,
had happened in our culture was there was a time it happened to us as well. So we're more shifting about Eastern,
Yeah.
Western culture.
Yeah.
And then it happened for a while, and then now everything is reversing, going back.
Yes.
So now those Indians, they're having the same kind of expensive weddings, I would say, but now they're putting more
Yes.
traditional stuff into it. So
Yes.
they want the decoration to be traditional decoration,
Yeah.
and the whatever costumes we wear now, we are kind of wearing our own traditional stuff. And when we talk about festivals, weddings, we are interested to know dance. Do they have a particular dance that they dance during the wedding, or even the bridegroom, and
Not
do
that
they
I
have to dance?
know of in particular. Not that I know of in particular.
So all you do is just get drunk and dance.
Oh, mate, the drinking side of there, yeah, it's the drinking side's massive in Vietnam. Any reason to drink. If there's football on, they'll be drinking. If it's a Sunday, they'll be drinking. And yeah,
You like this. They make alcohol out of cobra snake.
Oh, okay. and
really gnarly stuff. And then when
Yeah.
you're hungover, you take another shot
Okay.
of like fermented.
Yeah, not sure how.
I sort of we went to this place.
Yeah.
In the jar, like clear jar, they had snake in there, filled, and I was looking at like, why is that? And they're like, it's alcohol. They're making alcohol out of it. So they catch the snake
Yep.
and they put it in there.
They ferment
Yeah,
it.
maybe
Yeah.
we do see a documentary where even the kids they go out
Yep.
hunting for cobras and
Yep.
snakes, and I don't know how do they do, but it's them. I'll just leave it there. But I'm not sure how many minutes we have. But the other thing I wanted to talk about was transport. Is like train a big thing over there?
What was it, sorry?
The train, the way people travel in Vietnam.
I think
Mainly
long
bus.
distance. Yeah,
Mm.
long distance train, yes. But within, from like
Yep.
city to city, it'd be more bus.
Yep.
But then it's just motorbikes.
Motorbikes.
Yeah.
So everybody has to own a motorbike.
Yeah, and they'll have charter buses, which
Mm.
might be what we would have, like, you know, maybe a 20-seater
Yeah.
charter bus
Mm.
that you will just hire for the day. You get the driver with it, and they just take you wherever you need to go. So no shuttles or anything like that.
But you have the normal kind of bus running
Yes.
for the people over there.
Yes. Yeah.
I see. And okay, right. So Sahil says that the time's up, and over here we must listen to Sahil, otherwise we'll go over time with our time and place video, and then we won't be coming back. So no, thank you, Ngan. It was very exciting and interesting talking to you. We actually learned a lot about Vietnam. And next time when we go, then yep, we will remember you
Yeah.
if we ever go to Vietnam.
Thank you
But
for
no,
having
it has
me.
been nice having you. So thank you so much. And anything that you want to say, 30 seconds, and then we'll switch over.
I've been told by my boys that I have to give a shout out to Nico and Rocco, and they've asked me to say other things that I'm not sure about, so I won't say that. But thank you for your support, Johnny, Nico, and Rocco. And again, thank you so much for having me.
Thank you so
today.
much. That was Ngan talking to us about Vietnam, born in New Zealand, Kiwi, but having this strong connection to Vietnam. So thank you so much. And now we will be closing today with the final song by Sahil. And thank you all, everybody who has supported us or who has been watching us on this Facebook Live, and plus everybody who's listening to Frequency. Thank you people and switching to Hindi. ठीक है, शुभ रात्रि सभी को. हम इसी तरह फिर मिलेंगे नेक्स्ट सैटरडे, और समय समय से हम वीडियोस पे आते रहेंगे. हमारा जो टेलन सीरीज चल रहा है वो भी हम दिखाते रहेंगे, और फीफा का कुछ अपडेट होगा साल की तरफ से वो भी हम करेंगे. बट टुडे वी जस्ट रनिंग आउट ऑफ टाइम, सो वी विल क्लोज अप अभी हियर. बट हम फिर आपके साथ में किसी दिन और फिर जुड़ जाएंगे. तो शुभ रात्रि सभी को. एंजॉय योर सैटरडे.